NYPD. So I want to go over to New York. It seems like New York and Chicago, don't worry, we're going to bring Brandon Johnson to the front of the congregation. It seems like New York and Chicago just can't get their life together. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's in the food. I don't know if y'all got too many migrants going on over in those cities, but it just seems like New York and Chicago can't get their act together. And I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. It's confusing, it's perplexing, and I'm trying to figure out why you guys are always at the front of the congregation. Is it because y'all got so many people? Is it because y'all burning people up inside of the subways? All of that. So let's go ahead and see what's happening with this whole situation with the NYPD's chief Jeffrey Madry. Check it out.
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch saying she has appointed Edward Thompson as the interim chief of internal affairs effective immediately. That she says this is part of her campaign to rid this department of corruption as the investigation continues into those sexual allegation claims made against former chief of department Jeffrey Madry by a department lieutenant. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch announcing John Chell as the interim chief of department, filling the role of former chief of department Jeffrey Madry, who resigned on Friday. Madry is facing sexual misconduct accusations. He's accused of demanding sexual favors from his lieutenant, Quaitisha Epps, in exchange for excessive overtime. Epps holds an administrative position in Madry's office. A spokesperson for the NYPD says in a statement, quote, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch accepted the resignation of Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry Friday night, effective immediately. The NYPD takes all allegations of sexual misconduct seriously and will thoroughly investigate this matter. Epps filed a complaint against the city with the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission on Saturday, claiming that Madry engaged in quid pro quo sexual harassment by coercing her to perform unwanted sexual favors in exchange for overtime opportunities in the workplace. Epps said that when she finally pushed back at the demands, Madry retaliated by claiming she was abusing overtime, prompting the department to launch a review. City data shows Epps earned more than $400,000 in fiscal year 2024.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. This woman made over $400,000 in an administrative job in the office running up a bag. Let me say it again for the people in the back. This woman made over $400,000, which includes $170,000 plus in base salary and over $200,000, over $230,000 in overtime. In overtime, as a NYPD lieutenant at a desk job. At a desk job. When the bombshell allegations came out, is when she then filed her harassment sexual allegation charges. Let's continue.
More than half of it was overtime. An attorney for Epps says she was suspended without pay despite putting in her retirement notice earlier this week. A spokesperson for City Hall responding to the allegations says in a statement, quote, "We are deeply disturbed by these allegations and the NYPD is investigating this matter. Mayor Adams is working in close coordination with Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch as the NYPD conducts a separate department-wide review to ensure no high-ranking officers are using their power inappropriately. We will refrain from commenting further to avoid jeopardizing either investigation." Madry has been the subject of other sexual misconduct allegations in the past, including one from NYPD Captain Gabrielle Walls, who says she dealt with repeated unwanted advances. She filed an amended complaint in a lawsuit against the city last Wednesday, alleging that
so we got a Me Too situation. So now she's filing an amended lawsuit to get some money now that she sees that he's under duress with this other chick, with Quantamisha, whatever her name is. We're going to get there. Let's continue.
Madre sexually harassed her from the years 2015 to 2022.
Mm.
Madre joined the police force in 1991 at the age of 20 and rose through the ranks to become chief of patrol in 2021 before being promoted to chief of department last December. And back out here live as John Chell moves into the position of chief of department. His role will be temporarily filled by Philip Rivera. He most recently served as the chief of transportation. Now, we're still waiting to hear back from an attorney for Madre. Epps' lawyer says they will get back to us during regular business hours. The Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, saying that his office is also investigating this matter.
All right, so let's deep dive a little bit, y'all. Let's not just go surface level, let's deep dive. All right, so this is what we have. This is what we were able to find for Quantisha. Her name is Quantisha. I don't know if they calling her Quantisha, because you listen. Let me tell you something. One thing about our people is that the TH is silent. The TH is silent. We always like to finesse our names. So I don't know if it's the news is pronouncing it Quantisha. I'm looking at Quantisha Elps. Okay, so Quantisha made over $400,000 last year at a desk job. Okay, all right. Jeffrey, who is the NYPD chief, recently resigned amid allegations, but I like to say forced out. Forced out. All right. Let's continue. Top earner, retiring early, astronomical overtime pay is being investigated. Goes on to say she made for more than $400,000 last year and she filed for retirement. So the details matter. She filed for retirement this week and then was suspended amid an internal affairs probe into her astronomical overtime. Lieutenant Quantisha Epps will retire just shy of 20 years with the department. Sources said an early exit that will impact her pension and cost her $12,000 a year supplement for cops who reach the 2-decade mark. Let me say that again. Because she's in her 19th year. The details matter. She's in her 19th year. Because this investigation was launched against her, she decided to file for early retirement before her 20th year, which will cost her an additional $12,000 a year supplemental for cops who reach the 2-decade mark. How many of you guys are willing to give up an additional $1,000 a month? How many of y'all are willing to give up an additional $1,000 a month for the rest of your life when you only got a few more months of work to do? Leaving the money on the table is seemingly uncharacteristic for Epps, who raised eyebrows by pulling in roughly $204,000 in overtime last year in her administrative job. No wonder everybody got high expectations because y'all getting that bag. They said she was also told she'd be put back on patrol, an apparently unappetizing prospect after her cushy desk job. She said there is no way that she going back on patrol. There was no way. Nope. Nope. Why go on patrol when I can push papers? This is Quantisha. I just want y'all to know what we dealing with. This is Quantisha. This is Quantisha Epps. And I'm not saying that she didn't deserve her pay or she didn't work it out, do what she got to do to get what she want. But now I understand why everybody feeling entitled and why everybody feel as though men They can get the highest men. Men are supposed to take care of them because you finesse the taxpayers. This is her. This is her. All right. This is also her. This is also her. Let's take a minute. Take it in. Take it in. I'm not one to judge, but let's take it in. Let's take it in. Mmm. Mmm. Now y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Is it worth 400,000 a year? Is it worth 400,000? Now, let me find these pictures. What's her name? Quantisha Epps. $400,000. Crazy. Crazy. Dog. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I don't know what the heck is going on. This is insane. Let's find something better. Let's find something better to do. Here we go. Bam. Oh man. I guess it really don't matter when you're using taxpayer funds, right? The ladies should be offended at this. The ladies should be offended at this because they messing up the game. They messing up the game. The ladies should be offended at these accusations. The ladies should be offended at this. Real talk. Real talk. Let me take my watch off. Feel like I'm about to get robbed. Put on my Apple Watch. Now, the question that we have to ask ourselves here, ladies and gentlemen, is do you believe that Quantisha was being sexually harassed, especially considering that the money certainly went into her bank account? She was a top cop earning over $400,000 a year in 2024. She's been getting to that bag for a long time now. Do you think, now I'm going to leave this up to the court of public opinion. Do you guys think that Quantisha actually was being harassed? Do you think that she was a willing participant? Or do you think that she was finessing and then once she got caught getting all of that money, that she decided to file a sexual harassment lawsuit to preserve her bag? You know where I stand on this. You know where I stand on this. I, by default, do not believe anything that is coming out of her mouth. I don't. I don't. Is it possible that Jeffrey Madry was out here selling, getting overtime for box, giving out overtime for box? Perhaps. Perhaps. And that is not right. That is absolutely not the right thing to do with taxpayer dollars. But we don't know. Is it possible that she was willingly giving up box for overtime? Maybe. Is it also a much stronger possibilities considering the details of this case that once she was exposed by people being able to look up, and a lot of people don't know this, but if you work for a public institution or if you work in most instances for, you know, uh, tax anything taxpayer dollars related, then most of the time you can look up whatever that is because we're using taxpayer dollars. You can look up what everybody is making. So all I'm saying is, in my opinion, if you're asking me what my opinion is of what Quantisha was doing, inside of that office in order to get $400,000. I don't in any way, shape, or form don't believe that she was not a willing participant. If if not at all, one that was doing the finessing. I guess the real question that we should be asking ourselves is what won't you do for $400,000? I mean, it's easy to give it out if it ain't my money, right? What won't people do for $400,000? There's very few things that I can think of that 99.9% of the population not gonna do for 400,000. But this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I say you gotta pray for character. You have to pray for character on your way to the top because character is going to keep you in places where your talent is going to take you and your work ethic is going to drive you. And most people are not ready for success. Most people are not ready for success. Oh, that one is a little bit better. Let me see. I see you, baby. 51 no, 400,000. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't care what happens. I'm not giving you that. Anyways, the early retirement after 19 years means she'll receive roughly half of what she put into her pension, but she's still slated to collect about $16,000 a month from her pension. It's good to be a cop in New York City. Let me go and figure. I guess worst case scenario, if everything go wrong in my life, I'm gonna see if I can apply to be a cop in New York City. Might have to see some burn victims. Might get beat up by a couple migrants here and there, but they living life good over there. Department has 30 days to investigate before the pension goes into full effect. That's why she tried to get that junk out immediately. But anyway, shout out to Quanthesha and shout out to Jeffrey. Tax dollars is going crazy everywhere. I can't wait for these government audits to take place. We need government audits not only on a national level, but we need them on local levels too. And we need them in our governor's offices. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. I see some of y'all saying she must got that gorilla grip. How would you find out? How would you find out? How would y'all be able to accurately find out whether or not somebody got some gorilla grip? You can't even get through my door. You can't get through my door? Uh-uh. Mm-mm. The minute that you come asking for, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Daniels, can I get some overtime? And you got your dress on, you got your NYPD officer's outfit, and your button is a little bit lower than usual. Be like, man, Quantisha over there asking for some overtime with her shirt down. You know what I'm saying? That's how we be laughing at people like that. Man, you know Quantisha was over there trying to get that overtime for me. And my homie gonna say, was she trying to bust it down for a real one? Man, ain't nobody thinking about Quantisha. Quantisha? Man, you crazy. I ain't messing with no Quantisha. She crazy, bro. Auntie? Auntie? Can I get some overtime? Can I get some over? I need some overtime. Quantisha, don't you already make $174,000 a year? I know. My car note due. I'm gonna think about it for a minute and I'm gonna say, man, get on out of here, Quantisha. I'm gonna we are listen, thinking about it don't mean that you consider it. Thinking about it means that you're trying to evaluate what the hell is going on at the time. What you doing, Quantisha? Where all your money going? I've been trying to do this and do that. Unbutton her top a little bit more. No, hey. I don't see nothing. I'm getting out of there. I don't want to talk to you. Don't come to me unbuttoning your shirt talking about getting no overtime. You gets nothing. You gets nothing from me. This is why you got to be careful who you elect because most people are fallible, even for a 51-year-old Contisha.